The foundation of self-confidence through Stoicism. Hello, friends. Today, we will discuss an important topic: how to become a self-confident person and increase self-esteem using the principles of Stoic philosophy. In the modern world, many of us face insecurity, fear of the opinions of others, and constant self-digging. But there are powerful principles that will help us strengthen our inner core. The Stoics taught that confidence comes not from external achievements, but from an internal state of mind and control over what depends on us. Let's figure out how to apply these ideas in practice. 1. Control over your thoughts and perceptions. The Stoics argued that confidence is not the absence of fear, but the ability to control your thoughts. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the division of things into controllable and uncontrollable. We cannot control the opinions of others, circumstances, or random events, but we can control our reaction to them. How does this manifest itself in life? Imagine that you need to speak at an important event. Your heart starts beating faster, and your mind starts spinning with thoughts like, "What if I'm wrong?" Logically, what if the crowd judges me? This is a natural reaction, but a Stoic would say, "Stop. This is beyond your control. What can you do? Prepare. Tune in, breathe." Instead of wasting energy on worrying, he would direct it toward preparation. Epictetus said, "It is not things that worry people, but their ideas about things." So if you change your interpretation of a situation, you change your state. Practical exercise. Every time you encounter anxiety or fear, ask yourself, am I in control of this? If the answer is no, let it go. If yes, act consciously. 2. Self-acceptance and non-dependence on other people's opinions. In modern society, many people suffer from low self-esteem because they attach too much importance to the opinions of others. The Stoics taught that our value does not depend on the approval of others. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not over external events. Realize this, and you will gain strength." How does this manifest in life? Let's say you want to change your job, but you are afraid of the judgment of your loved ones. You worry. What if they say this is a stupid decision? But a Stoic would remind you, the opinions of others are their judgments, shaped by their beliefs, fears, and experiences. They do not know the full depth of your situation. Socrates was an example of a person whose confidence did not depend on the opinions of others. Despite ridicule and condemnation, he did not change his beliefs because he knew that the main thing is to live in harmony with your truth. Practical exercise. Every time you are worried about someone else's opinion, ask yourself, do I know my truth? If so, then the opinions of others should not have power over you. 3. Practice negative visualization. One of the most powerful tools of the Stoics is negative visualization. This is a method in which we imagine the worst-case scenario in order to prepare for it and reduce fear of the unknown. Seneca wrote, "A man suffers not because of what happens, but because he fears what may happen." When we mentally play out unfavorable situations, we gain confidence because we know that even in the worst case, we will cope. How does this manifest itself in life? Let's say you are afraid of losing your job. Instead of panicking, the Stoics would suggest, imagine this scenario. What will happen next? How will you act? Most likely, you will find a way out. You will start looking for new options, insure yourself financially, develop new skills. Thus, when fear materializes in the head, it loses its destructive power. Practical exercise. Choose a situation that scares you and consciously imagine the worst-case scenario. Find ways to cope with it. Do it regularly, and you will notice that fear loses its power over you. We have covered the first key principles of Stoic confidence: control over perception, independence from other people's opinions, practice of negative visualization. In the next part, we will talk about how to develop inner fortitude and apply Stoic exercises in everyday life. Part 2. Developing inner toughness and practical exercises. Now, we will look at how to develop inner toughness and apply Stoic exercises in everyday life so that confidence becomes not a temporary state, but your essence. 1. Endurance in the face of difficulties. Anti-fragility. The modern world tells us that we should avoid stress and difficulties, but the Stoics saw difficulties as a source of strength. They said that obstacles are not hindrances, but opportunities for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "An obstacle in the path becomes the path. That which hinders action facilitates it." How does this manifest itself in life? Let's say you are criticized at work. Instead of getting upset, use this moment as an opportunity to strengthen your character. If the criticism is justified, learn a lesson. If it is unfair, train yourself to be indifferent to other people's opinions if they are not constructive. How often in life do we encounter situations where we are stopped by fear of difficulties? For example, someone is afraid to start a new business because of the fear of failure. The Stoic approach: do not be afraid of failure, but learn from it. Practical exercise. Every day, intentionally do something difficult. This could be a cold shower, giving up your usual comfort, doing unpleasant tasks. The more you practice facing discomfort, the more confident you become. 2. Awareness of temporariness and the practice of Memento Mori. One of the most important principles of Stoicism is to remember the brevity of life. This is not a reason for sadness, but an incentive to act boldly and confidently. Seneca said, "While we put off life, it passes." How does this manifest itself in life? Many people put off important decisions, confessing their feelings, changing jobs, starting a project. But if you realize that time is limited, the fear goes away. For example, a person who is afraid to speak in public can ask themselves, will this matter in 5 years? In most cases, the answer is no, so there is nothing to be afraid of. Practical exercise. Every morning, remind yourself that the day may be your last. Use this not for anxiety, but for conscious action. Do what is truly important. 3rd, control over emotions and acceptance of the inevitable. Epictetus said, Do not try to force events to happen the way you want. Want them to happen the way they happen, and you will be calm. The Stoics did not suppress emotions, but they did not allow them to control them either. They understood that emotions are a reaction to thoughts. By changing thoughts, you can change emotions. How does this manifest itself in life? Suppose you are angry in a traffic jam. You can react with anger, but you can also realize that the traffic jam is beyond your control. A smart choice is to listen to an audiobook. Use the time usefully. Practical exercise. When a strong emotion arises, stop and ask yourself, what do I control? Shift your focus from irritation to constructive actions. So, to make confidence your natural trait, train your resilience by overcoming difficulties. Remember that life is temporary and act boldly. Control your emotions by accepting the inevitable. Practice these principles, and you will become a confident and resilient person who can handle any challenge.